First of all, I'm making this video for Esteban, who commented on my previous video on darning. I'm sorry I didn't do it 3 days ago. My sister came from out of town and she stayed for 2 days, and it kind of threw off my whole situation. So I'm making it for you now. I apologize, the dishwasher's running in the background. I finally just cleaned up for my sister's visit, and I wanted to make this video as soon as possible so you could get to work darning your pants. So I decided to just go for it, even with the sound of the dishwasher in the background. So right now I'm using a piece of fabric that I cut off of the first pair of pants that I ever made, just because they got old and much too worn. And I'm using a piece of darning wool, which I didn't mention before, but because I don't like to use darning wool when I'm doing the crotch of a pair of pants, just because it's not as strong as using, you know, some upholstery thread. But when I'm doing darns in like the leg of my pants, I'll use darning wool, and it's really soft. And then I'll use upholstery thread when I'm doing darns in the crotch of my pants. So with sewing and darning, when you're doing option 1, which read the comment section in my original darning video and you'll understand what I'm talking about, you want to start by putting a knot in your thread. And this is very, very easy. You hold the thread onto your finger, you wrap it around 3 times, and then you twist it off and pull it tight. And you've got a knot right there. And there's a lot of loops sticking out of the knot, which I can cut those off without affecting the knot itself. And this is gonna look big and fussy because it's darning wool and not just simple thread. But so there's the knot. I'll just do that one more time in case you missed it. So you don't have to, I guess you could rewind the video. Maybe this is a better angle, I don't know. You wrap it around, twist it and pull it. And then you can cut off the scraggly loop. So tying a knot in your fabric when you are sewing and when you are darning with option 1 are exactly the same. I'm just going to show you an example with darning because that's what I'm doing this in response to. This is a darning egg. In my previous video I used an embroidery hoop and I showed you an example of a darning mushroom. So you stitch like normal, and the knot locks your stitching in place. When you are finished with your row of stitching, making a new knot is very simple. You're just going to stitch underneath where your thread comes out, very tiny stitch, and then you're going to pull the needle through the loop. And I like to do this 3 times over the same spot. Just to make sure it's extra secure. And then if you are darning option 1, you just start again at the beginning. So you're not tying your next thread that you're working with to the existing thread. They're completely separate. you're just starting again, putting a knot in your thread, beginning to, you know, sew in and out, and then you knot it at the end, and then you begin a new thread, so on and so forth. So super, super easy. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask me. I love to hear from you, and I hope you have a great day.